Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, some people have argued that Supreme Court is a political court, and other people still maintain that Supreme Court is a court that should be making their ruling depending on the law and not depending on the political situation in the country. Governor James Orengo, who was leading railaodinga's team at the Supreme Court, yet again yesterday reacted to the Supreme Court ruling. And according to James Orengo, he said that the Supreme Court judgment was not a judicial judgment. Secondly, Orengo is stating that the literature that the judiciary, that the judges used was not a judicial literature. Again, he is claiming that the Supreme Court ruling was a political track. Their word was not measured. So I wanted to listen to James Orengo shortly, but again, I want us to go and look on Robert Alai's response to James Orengo and the Azimio side to check if really it is making sense or not. So
I respect the courts and I've practiced law for a long time. The judges in the Supreme Court, a lot of them are my juniors. They are my juniors in law. The judgment that they rendered, and I want to say this without fear or contradiction, was not a judicial judgment. The literature contained in that judgment was not judicial literature. That was a political track. It was meant to serve a purpose which has nothing to do with the law. The person who wrote that judgment has done a great injustice to the rule of law. Judges speak in words that are measured, that are tempered, so that even the loser in a court of law feels that justice has been done. It is like a good football match, however much you like your team, but if the referee is fair and is not against you in any shape or form, you congratulate those who have won in a football match. Football match has got rules. Netball has rules. And the courts of law must work with judicial practice and render judgment in which the loser and the winner leave a courtroom saying that justice has been done.
Now, before we go into what Robert Alai wrote, I have a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you are not yet subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give our video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, Robert Alai was reacting to James Orengo and other Azimio leaders who felt that the Supreme Court verdict was not fair, was not based on law, it was just political. And this is the reaction from Robert Alai. Yes, the language of the Supreme Court of Kenya judgment is wrong, but we did a lot of bad things which made judiciary hate Raila. They couldn't trust him, and that's what we need to address. Even with the handshake, how did we allow Uhuru not to swear in judges and even deny judiciary funds? This hate was evidently in all matters which they believe benefited Raila or Uhuru since 2017. When Uhuru went after Maraga because of the 2017 Supreme Court of Kenya judgment and we kept quiet, that was an alarm. In 2022, Supreme Court of Kenya feared delivering judgment against a vindictive Ruto. They fear Azimio boycotting election unless Chebukati goes. That made them wholly decide to save themselves and their families. This fear of Ruto is a currency we must tackle. That is Robert Alai reacting to Orengo and the team. Now, having listened to James Orengo and the reaction from Robert Alai, I want you to tell me in the comment section if what Robert Alai is talking about is making sense or had anything to do with the Supreme Court ruling. Majaji waliogopa Ruto ama kupitia yale mambo yenye Uhuru alikuwa amepitishia ndani after what Maraga ruled in made them to upheld William Ruto's victory. Just tell me in the comment section and I will go through each and every comment. I want to read your views. And in my own view, we all understand that after Maraga and the other bench, it was a bench of 6 judges, I think, and it was 4 against 2. After that ruling, which nullified President Uhuru Kenyatta's victory, we understand Uhuru was angry, even Ruto was angry. But these two departed their ways. And as Uhuru was angry, he continuously attacked the Supreme Court judges, especially Maraga. Aliita the Supreme Court judges wakora. Akasema Maraga na wakora wake. Ruto also attacked the judges, but after they parted the ways with the Uhuru Kenyatta, Ruto changed his mind. Instead of attacking the judges, he kind of played the opposition role and he was appealing to judges that he will give them fund, there will be separation of power, and they will respect the Supreme Court. But we know he was attacking them before. So when Uhuru went into the handshake with railaodinga, the truth of the matter is that Raila did not, and his NASA side, they did not protect Maraga. They did not defend him. Politically, I'm talking about politics. They did not come out openly after the handshake to defend the judges. So that is the truth, because now once you are in handshake, you have now to defend the president. But if there are things you don't agree with him, you tell him in boardroom meetings, but not on a political podium. So because of that, in one way, the NASA side failed. Uhuru Kenyatta refused to swear in the new judges. He was giving his reasons why he was not going to swear in those judges, of which, yes, it was making sense in one way or another. But judges felt that Uhuru was pinning them down. He was not giving them a space to breathe. Maraga pushed to the end, but Uhuru refused to swear them in until the last minute, when Ruto said that once he takes over office, if he will win this election, he is going to swear in those judges. That is when Uhuru came out at the 11th hour to swear in those judges. So in as much this was happening, politically, Raila Odinga and the ODM side did not come out to persuade Uhuru Kenyatta to swear in those judges. But William Samoei Ruto politically appealed to the Supreme Court and the judges that he will swear them in. So in as much William Ruto was appealing to them politically, Raila Odinga side was not doing something politically in the same manner on a political podium to appeal to Uhuru Kenyatta to swear them in. So already William Ruto underscored them. But them remaining silent, it means they maybe have been trying to appeal to President Uhuru Kenyatta to swear in the new judges, but in boardroom meetings. Because Raila is a man who always wants the democracy to thrive in this country. And because they were now working with Uhuru Kenyatta, the only way he could do this is by reaching out to Uhuru through boardroom meetings when they are in the private areas to tell him to swear in the judges. So that alone maybe could have made the judges to see that even Raila, whom they upheld, whom they had ruled in his favor, did not come out strong to defend them. So that means in case they make another ruling in his favor, then it happened that William Ruto take over power. Then Ruto will go for them. And Raila will be nowhere to defend them because maybe he will go into another handshake with William Ruto. That is what maybe the judges could have think if I have to reason with what Robert Alai is writing here. Number 3, Uhuru Kenyatta refusing to give judges, the judiciary, their funds. That's what Robert Alai has talked about. And what is it true? In my view, it is true. Uhuru Kenyatta reduced the Supreme Court funding. He cut it down. We remember Maraga was doing a lot of development as far as construction of the courts across the country. Walikuwa wanajenga hizo majengo so that you are improving the Supreme Court and other funds maybe to employ even more workers and have enough funds to do their work. Uhuru cut these funds down. They reduced it. And anything you will do against the Supreme Court after the verdict of nullifying a sitting president's victory will only be seen as a means to bring the judiciary down, to discipline them. Wataona kama ni kiboko. So anything you do against the Supreme Court, the judiciary, it will be seen as a revisit because Uhuru had promised that he was going to revisit. So we understand that because Raila was already in handshake with the President Uhuru Kenyatta, he could not come out, or the Azimio side could not come out on a political podium to appeal to Uhuru Kenyatta to give enough funds to the judiciary. The only way they could do this was through the boardroom meetings and in their private areas when they meet. Uhuru anadhambia Raila anadhambia Uhuru, pea majudges haki yao wafanya kazi yao. But not politically, because now he will not come on a political podium. But you see, William Ruto used that advantage because he was now acting like an opposition leader. He could say it on a political podium that once I become the next president, I will give the judiciary their funds so that they can do their work freely, rather than gagging them. But Raila could not do this because he was in handshake. So handshake, in one way, did not mean good for Raila Amolo Odinga because he could not appeal to the Kenyan people and to the judiciary politically on a political podium so that they will feel that the incoming person is going to take care of our interest. But Ruto did it because he did not agree with the handshake and he was against President Uhuru Kenyatta's decision to have a handshake with Raila Amolo Odinga. And number 4, attack on Maraga. We understand Uhuru was attacking Maraga, and of course we have said in the first position, attacking on judges. Many would think that Raila was supposed to protect Maraga, but Raila might have done it in their private meetings and the boardroom meetings, though William Ruto came out on a political podium. So you know, when you do it on a political podium, it looks more popular than when you does it in a boardroom meeting or in your private things there. That is the difference. So Ruto will be seen of a kind of a man who is coming in defense of judiciary, but Raila, because he was doing in a boardroom, it will be seen as a man who just went silent even after judiciary ruling in his favor. And the last one, which make more sense for me, is what Robert Alai is stating, that the Supreme Court judges feared that what NASA did in 2017 could be repeated in 2022. if they nullify this election. Remember, after Uhuru Kenyatta's election was nullified, Raila Amolo Odinga said that Chebukati must go, and if not, they are boycotting the election. And that's exactly what happened. They boycotted that election because Chebukati did not go. In their case, they were not asking the court to remove Chebukati. So the court was only ruling on the result, presidential result. And if Chebukati had to go, already that was going to create a constitution crisis. Again, even in this election, they asked that question in the Supreme Court, that if we remove Chebukati, then who is going to check on this election? Because you have a chairperson who should be there on before a specific period of time. So if you remove him, you are simply creating a constitution crisis. There was no any other person who was going to do this, unless we are saying that you call upon the what? With wanajeshi. You call on the army to take over this rule, and that then it will be against the democracy. So there was a fear that Raila Odinga might not return to the ballot because he will be saying Chebukati must go. So the fear that Raila will not be on ballot, and then William Ruto goes on ballot alone, and then he will be declared the winner. So Ruto was going to work on the judiciary. So judiciary had some fear, what Robert Alai is referring to as the fear of Ruto's currency. That Raila will boycott, and Ruto will be on ballot, he will be elected president, and they will deal with us mercilessly.